Hi, Miss Armour. For my final project, I chose to learn a new language through Duolingo and to show my progress over the course of 2 weeks. The language I chose to learn was Japanese, and I've learned Korean through this app, or at least I've tried to, and so I know the hang of it. And also, the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to do 20 minutes of Duolingo a day just to make sure I get a good grip on the language. This clip right here is the first day it started, and I started by learning different syllables and how they were written out. On the second day of learning Japanese, I was still at the level of learning new syllables, but at this point, I was being taught new words such as blue, which is pronounced aoi, red, which is pronounced aka, and 6 for roku, and 7 for nana. On the third day, I learned how to say the basic and general sayings such as hello, konnichiwa, and goodbye, itu na goi. I also learned how to say new syllables such as ta, ke, ho, ri, and mu. One thing that I noticed is that the word bag in Japanese is pronounced the same in Korean, which is kapang. So basically this clip is on day 5. I decided that I didn't want to put every single clip of me doing the Duolingo inside the video because I know that it'd probably end up too long. So therefore, for that reason, I will be only showing clips from certain days of the week, although I did do every single day for the past 2 weeks. I just only showed some days of the week just for that reason. But anyways, on day 5, I was still on the same track of learning new words and syllables. At that point, I learned the syllables ze, zu, ji, zo, and za. So now we're on day 8, and it's been over a week ever since I first started learning Japanese through Duolingo. And at that point, I noticed that it was really challenging to remember all the symbols for each syllable. So therefore, I would try to picture and memorize what each syllable looked and sounded like. But I don't know, it was just really challenging because all of them are just so different and it was hard to remember, but I still kept pushing through and I was gonna be all right. Okay, so on day 11 of learning Japanese, I was starting to learn more advanced sayings such as dozo yoshiku onigai shimasu, which means nice to meet you. But yeah, by then it was a little bit easier for me to form sentences, but since Duolingo doesn't really teach much grammar, it was still in some ways difficult, but I was still learning. So now on day 13, so far the process of learning Japanese definitely got more difficult, especially with all the symbols being thrown at you. However, I did learn a few sentences along the way. The first thing is, eigo to nihongo ga hanasemasu. In English, this means, I can speak English and Japanese. Another saying that I learned was, watashi wa America kara desu, which means I'm from America. And another saying I learned was, watashi no namae ya Hailey to watashi wa gakusei desu. This phrase means that my name is Hailey and I am a student. And the last day of trying to learn Japanese in 2 weeks is finally here. Overall, my thoughts on learning Japanese through Duolingo are very diverse. I really like how the app teaches you how to pronounce each symbol and what the characters look like. However, I wasn't really a fan of the lack of grammar lessons the app has. But overall, I think Duolingo is a great way of learning Japanese, and I would definitely recommend it for people who want to get the basics of Japanese down. I really enjoyed this experience of learning Japanese instead of doing a math final per se, because I know times like this are really tough and I think it was just a nice way to get my mind off of things. But other than that, I just want to say thank you for being a great teacher, Miss Armour, and making my sophomore year in your class amazing.